Right now at 5, preparing for the storm. Plow drivers could be on the roads removing snow for the next couple of days.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Watching News 8 Now at 5, I'm Amy DuPont. A winter storm warning is going to go into effect tonight for parts of the News 8 Now viewing area. Other communities will fall under an advisory. Let's send it right over to meteorologist Eric Dean, who is tracking it all.
All right, good evening, Amy. Good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map right now. We have the winter storm warning, the area shaded in pink, in effect from Rusk County all the way down to Juneau, Adams County. This starts at 9 o'clock. This evening. Again, Rusk, Chippewa, Dunn, Pepin, Eau Claire, Clark, Jackson, Trempealeau, Buffalo, Monroe, Juneau, and Adams. If you're in those counties listed, winter storm warning goes into effect tonight at 9 and goes until Thursday. The area shaded in purple, this is a winter weather advisory. So Wabasha, Winona, La Crosse, Vernon, Richland County. Again, this goes into effect at 9 o'clock tonight and goes until Thursday. And right now, the radar scan showing a little bit of snow across portions of Rusk County, extreme northern Eau Claire County, Chippewa County, seeing some snow over towards the Ruby area. Let's go ahead and pull out, and you can see some rain stretching just to the east of Eau Claire through La Crosse over towards the Viroqua area. And what's happening is this low pressure system is in control, and it's going to stay here not just tonight, going into tomorrow, and then we get on the back end of this for Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday, and that's what's going to drop the temperatures substantially, with highs going back into the teens. Now, coming up in the first warn forecast, we're going to time everything out hour by hour using Sky Tracker, and I'm going to tell you this right now, allow yourself extra time to get from point A to point B tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Amy, over to you.
All right, thank you, Eric. Well, highway officials in Eau Claire, they are preparing for the worst. We did speak with, News 8 Now spoke with the highway commissioner, who says for the next 2 days, it's going to be all hands on deck.
Amy, John Johnson says because his department is short-staffed, every person will be working 18 hours, the maximum allowed. And depending on the rate of the snowfall, some roads may not even be plowed. In Eau Claire County, state and local officials head a pre-storm planning meeting. State officials and plow truck drivers will head out on the roads as early as midnight. Johnson says the county is expecting 1 inch of snow per hour, a rate Johnson says his department may not be able to keep up with.
The challenge with this event is if it continues on, we will have significant levels of service, reductions in certain areas where we don't have people available.
If you plan on driving, Johnson says drive slowly. He says most crashes happen because drivers are speeding and lose control of their vehicles. Now, if you do get stuck in the snow or are involved in a crash, the Wisconsin State Patrol says do not get out of your car to look for help. Officials say one of the best ways to stay safe is to remain in your car and wait for that help.
All right, thank you, Dua. And Johnson says if you can, stay home and wait out the storm. Wisconsin is one step closer to strengthening PFAS rules. The DNR board voted unanimously to move forward with creating rules for PFAS in groundwater. Now, earlier this year, regulators adopted rules for drinking water and surface water, but they failed to adopt groundwater standards over concerns about costs. So that meant Wisconsinites who get their drinking water from a private well were not covered. If the groundwater standards are adopted, it'll take roughly 2 years for those rules to be finalized. Loved ones gathered in Newtown, Connecticut today to mark the 10th anniversary of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. On December 14th of 2012, a gunman killed 20 students and 6 adults. Since then, survivors and the victims' families have worked to enact changes aimed at preventing similar instances of violence. One survivor said when school shootings happen, it is difficult and frustrating.
It really affected me because I felt like I failed, and just to know that something so similar happened again is very tiring.
A groundbreaking ceremony for an animal sanctuary founded in honor of a Sandy Hook victim also took place today. Officials say they hope this sanctuary will bring hope for the future. It has been nearly 4 weeks since the Club Q nightclub shooting in Colorado Springs. The House Oversight Committee and Reform Committee held a hearing today to examine the rise of anti-LGBTQ extremism and violence. Survivors of that shooting testified before the committee about the impact the attack had on them. The committee chairman said there is reason for concern because the Club Q shooting was one of many incidents of hate.
These actions are the culmination of years of anti-LGBTQI extremism that began in state houses across the country and spread to social media platforms before boiling over into the communities where we reside.
During their testimonies, many survivors urged Congress to act on gun control. Mark your calendar. The Blue Angels are coming back to La Crosse in the summer of 2024. The U.S. Navy released the team's upcoming tour via Facebook. The announcement, though, came as somewhat of a surprise to organizers of La Crosse's Deke Slayton Airfest. They say they're excited to have the Blue Angels back and look forward to putting together an entertaining family air show. The Blue Angels will fly in La Crosse on June 15th and 16th of 2024. 'Tis the season of giving, and the La Crosse County Salvation Army knows this all too well. With the help of community, workers and volunteers distributed gifts and food baskets to more than 400 families. Angel Tree Distribution Day is an exciting time for those families and, of course, the kids that receive those gifts. But it is also a special time for Salvation Army employees. They say handing out the gift bags and seeing the families' reactions, well, that's the best part.
It's just wonderful because you could see it on their faces that they're very appreciative and how much this is going to help them. And we as workers and volunteers, we get to experience that joy with them. And this is that season of joy.
And the nonprofit warmed even more hearts this year. Volunteers helped 100 more families than they did in 2021. Coming up, hold on to your wallet. Recent actions by the federal government could make your credit card bill more expensive.
Nothing tastes better on the grill than steak from Holman Locker and Meat Market. Stop in for a sale on this month's featured steak. You'll be glad you did. Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality local meat and much, much more.
This holiday season, Ford wants to help you shine bright. Come in and choose from a great in-stock selection of vehicles, or simply place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected, even if rates go up before your order comes in. Plus, hundreds of vehicles are arriving daily, just in time for the holidays. Now, for a limited time, get up to $1,000 bonus cash on most in-stock Ford vehicles. Hurry in. See your Northland Ford dealer today.
Find everything you need to get your projects done at Menards. Skill delivers power and performance with the PowerCore 20-volt power tool system. It delivers the convenience and portability of cordless tool operation while providing advanced power and torque for the bigger jobs. Every Skill PowerCore 20 battery is interchangeable with all Skill 20-volt power tools. Save big money on our in-stock selection of Skill 20-volt power tools. Plus, give the perfect gift with a Menards gift card.
It's time to nominate your favorite businesses for Best of La Crosse County. Make your nominations in each category now through December 31st. The top 5 in each category will advance to the voting round. Nominate this business today at bestoflacrossecounty.com.
You just had to wait. Now we're going to miss our vacation.
Now, on the bright side, I can crown that tooth and have you on your way in the same day.
See for yourself. Call or visit allendental.net.
Nothing tastes better on the grill than steak from Holman Locker and Meat Market. Stop in for a sale on this month's featured steak. You'll be glad you did. Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality local meat and much, much more.
Well, it's become a Washington holiday tradition, the last-minute debate over government funding. As Nicole D'Antonio explains, the clock is ticking toward Friday's midnight deadline.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for lawmakers to debate funding the government.
This is jamming through a bill at the 11th hour We're talking about keeping the lights on.
Late Tuesday, lawmakers announced a framework to negotiate final deals on an expected $1.65 trillion spending bill, with Democrats agreeing to Republican defense dollars.
I'm glad that our Democratic colleagues finally accepted reality and conceded to the Republican position that we need to prioritize our national security.
But Democrats are still pushing to fund their domestic priorities, too.
We fought so hard for the PACT Act. We have to fund it. We fought so hard for the CHIPS and Science Act. We have to fund it.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says it's either a full-year bill or a short-term stopgap by December 22nd.
That's the deadline, and those are the two options.
President Biden is pushing lawmakers to reach an agreement on a spending package that addresses everything from fallout from COVID-19 to additional money for Ukraine. The House is expected to pass a continuing resolution giving lawmakers one more week to iron out that larger package. But House Republicans wanted to wait until they have the majority in the new session.
Let's let the American people have the say. Let's do our spending bill in the next quarter.
That would give the GOP more leverage on spending. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Washington.
Using your credit card is going to get even more expensive, and new data from a major credit bureau says more and more people will struggle to pay those bills on time or at all. Executives at TransUnion are collecting credit card data to forecast the challenges consumers will face next year. They project consumers will still get access to loans and credit cards, but more payment delinquencies will pop up. One official says now is the time to be on the lookout for mail and email from your credit card company.
Now is probably a time to look at it because they need to give you 45, 60-day notice that they're going to raise your interest rate. And so that makes a difference of whether you carry a balance or not, or how much balance you carry.
TransUnion also conducted some consumer surveys. It found 52% of Americans, especially millennials and Gen Zs, are optimistic about their financial future. But most consumers expect a recession sometime next year. Still to come, the CDC reports that thousands of people have died from long COVID. And 2 years ago today, the first American received the COVID-19 vaccine. A look back at what has changed since then.
And in the world of weather, we do have an alert day out for tomorrow. We have a winter storm warning and a winter weather advisory on the map. We'll plot everything out hour by hour in the first warn forecast on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to Esco. Welcome to huge selection and savings. Welcome to our new home and gift department. From pillows to throws, seasonal to everyday. Come in and explore. Where white glove delivery and setup are always free. Tell them Peyton sent you.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Visit HometownChevy.com.
It's time for more fun moments at Fanati's.
Happy holidays, Lori.
Happy holidays. Wow, you're in the spirit.
Oh, it's my favorite time of year.
Mine too. Candy for stocking stuffers. Nuts and chocolates for coworkers.
Merry Christmas.
And treats for when the family gathers.
Even the in-laws. Isn't the spirit of the season contagious?
It sure is. Brought to you locally by Fanati's Nut and Chocolate Shop in downtown La Crosse.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness. Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland. Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
The gift of relaxation and pampering is the perfect gift to give this holiday season. It is the Sue Colvey's experience, the gift your special someone is really hoping for, and the gift she really deserves. Order your gift cards online today at SueColveys.com or pick them up at Sue Colvey's Salon and Day Spa. because she deserves the very best.
Welcome to Esco. Welcome to huge selection and savings. Welcome to our new home and gift department. From pillows to throws, seasonal to everyday. Come in and explore. Where white glove delivery and setup are always free. Tell them Peyton sent you.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page or find us at news8000.com. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
A new government report estimates how many Americans have died from long COVID since the pandemic began. Reporter Naomi Ruckham has more on the findings and one person's struggle with the long-term effects.
Nurse Patrice Peretti got very sick with COVID-19 in March 2020. Today, the 62-year-old battles long COVID, extreme fatigue, pain, neurological and memory issues. Eventually, she had to stop working.
I'm going to try not to cry because I was hanging in there. The wave came and the increase in hours, and we were at war, really, and I was injured.
It's estimated as many as 23 million Americans have long COVID symptoms. Now a new report shows more than 3,500 people have died from long COVID-related illnesses in the first 2.5 years of the pandemic.
Perhaps they have a complication, like let's say they have underlying congestive heart failure, and that condition is exacerbated by having long COVID. Or perhaps you have diabetes and your diabetes becomes harder to control.
People 75 and older accounted for more than half the deaths. Dr. Sritha Rajupate directs the post-COVID clinic at Stony Brook Medicine. She says one study limitation is that researchers looked at death certificates and the numbers are likely higher.
I think this is where we have an opportunity to study long COVID further. And so we want to look back and ask, were they vaccinated for COVID? Did they receive oral antiviral treatments? All of those could play an impact.
I go to physical therapy. I do hydrotherapy.
Patrice says she has hope.
I want to say I'm getting better, so therefore I will become better. But today I'm not feeling well. See, so you could have something, a diagnosis that's really, really horrific, but be in a good state of mind.
She wants others with long COVID to know they're not alone. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
The Stony Brook Post-COVID Clinic has seen more than 1,000 patients. This is believed to be the first report to look at counting deaths related to long COVID. Today, by the way, marks 2 years since the first COVID-19 vaccine was administered in the U.S. And since then, nearly 660 million doses have been distributed. And according to a new study, it made a difference. The Commonwealth Fund and Yale School of Public Health issued a report saying roughly 3.2 million COVID-19 deaths were prevented because of the vaccine. The findings also say that nearly 19 million people were not hospitalized because of the shots. And while some health officials admit the overall effectiveness of the vaccine has faded because of variants, they still say they provide proper protection from the virus. Well, here we go. Rain here in La Crosse, and now snow could be on the way. And Eric, we're kind of right on that border of that advisory versus the warning. I know a lot of people really wondering, what's going to happen over the next 24 hours or so.
That's right, Amy. And any shift in this system a couple miles south means La Crosse can be going under a winter weather advisory or staying under a winter weather advisory and going. We have a winter storm warning out for the following counties. If you're on this list, please pay very close attention. Rusk, Chippewa, Dunn, Pepin, Eau Claire, Clark, Jackson, Trempealeau, Buffalo, Monroe, Juneau, and Adams. You are under a winter storm warning that starts at 9 o'clock tonight and goes throughout the day on Thursday. If you're in Wabasha, Winona, La Crosse, Vernon, and Richland, you're under a winter weather advisory. Again, starts at 9 o'clock tonight and goes throughout the day on Thursday. So here's what we know. Like I just mentioned, the advisories begin at 9 o'clock tonight. Heavier snow amounts will be north of La Crosse. The main impacts, low visibility and slick roads. And right now, especially if you're in an advised area, everybody should have this anyway, but if you're in one of the areas that's under an advisory or warning, make sure you have that free News 8000 First Warn Weather app on your mobile device to receive the latest information for your area. Outside right now, we have cloudy skies. We have a temperature of 40 with that calm wind. Our feels like temperature is also at 40. Look at the visibility. It's down to 8 miles, and that Mississippi River, it's up there at about 5.37 feet. In Eau Claire, good evening to you guys. You're cooler. You're at 36 degrees, but your wind is out of the east at 11, so it feels like 28 degrees outside. So here's the radar scan. Let's go ahead and give you the grand tour as to what's going on. From Rusk County, northern Chippewa County, seeing a little bit of heavy snow. Here's Highway 8. You can see towards the Ladysmith area seeing some snow. The farther south you go, it's staying as rain. Just to the east of Eau Claire to the west of Black River Falls, seeing some rain. La Crosse is seeing some rain as we speak. So here's the setup. You see this low pressure system. It is in control, and this is doing two things. It's bringing that precipitation. It's going to allow that wind to shift as we go into your Friday and Saturday, and when it does, that's going to drop the temperature substantially. And if you look to the west, we're seeing temperatures already in the 20s and 30s, and that's a sign of things to come with feels like temperatures in the single digits and teens. Matter of fact, we'll see overnight lows on the 8-day. You'll see that in a second. In the single digits, some places getting below 0. So here's like a sky tracker. We'll start the clock. Here's 10 o'clock. The majority of us will see rain. It'll transition over to snow in the overnight hours, and once it transitions, it's not stopping, ladies and gentlemen. There's Thursday at 7. There's 11. There's 5 p.m. Here's 10 p.m. You can see that low just sitting here and spinning. And by noon, it's still in control, and then it finally starts to push its way out by Friday night, early Saturday. Here's the thinking right now. The majority of us seeing anywhere between 4 to 8 to 8 to 12. Viroqua's trying to paint 12 to 16. I'm not buying that one. I do agree with the 4 to 8 in Decorah, as well as Prairie du Chien with the higher amounts to the north. So here's like the first one forecast for tonight. Upper 20s, low 30s for tonight, with that rain turning into a mixed precip. As we take a look at the next 8 days, after that we go to 30 on Friday, 23 Saturday, upper teens for the high end on Sunday. And then, Amy, we go to the mid-teens for Monday and Tuesday, and the mid-teens continue for Wednesday and Thursday. One thing to note, Wednesday is the first day of winter, and boy, oh boy, is it going to feel like it.
Yeah, I think the snow is going to set us up for that as well. We'll get us in the mood. Welcome back from vacation, but you came home to quite a mess.
Yeah, I was in the 70s last week, and I came back to this. What the heck?
I know. All right. Well, we're glad you're here, Eric.
Thank you.
When we come back, a visit from the North Pole, a nursing home in Westby. Look at an up-close and personal visit from Santa and a reindeer.
Thursday on News 8 Now this morning, a former Wisconsin veterinarian is facing charges for mistreating animals in his care, words a pet owner never wants to hear. And an experimental cancer vaccine may be able to reduce the risk of skin cancer. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. More News 8 Now is coming up after the break.
The Board Store Home Improvements family wishes you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Visit soon to plan your 2023 home improvement project. It's never too early to dream.
Beat high fuel costs this winter with a Harmon pellet stove or insert package from Warming Trends. Order now and qualify for a 26% federal tax credit and receive a $200 Visa gift card. Stop into Warming Trends today.
Surprise! It's a new Buick.
You got me a new Buick?
Oh, and there are more gifts inside.
You got me the head-up display.
Wow! It's a massaging seat.
Okay, what next?
Alexa, turn on holiday lights.
This year, give the gift of technology in every Buick SUV.
It's the holidays. Get 3.99% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on these Buick SUV models.
I'm Alexander Platt, music director of the La Crosse Symphony Orchestra, and I'd like to invite you to our pair of holiday concerts this month. With all your favorite Christmas carols, these concerts are going to be the perfect way to gather the family together for a celebration of the holiday spirit.
Join the La Crosse Symphony for An American Christmas, December 16th and 17th. Sponsored by Hale, Skemp, Hansen, Skemp & Slyke, and Ideology. Tickets on sale now at lacrossesymphony.org.
Here's to the holidays. Here's to the casserole queens and Santas who saute. To the turkeys brined in beer, and well, just beer. To the ones who do the most, and the ones who do the least. To the classic traditions, and whatever you call this one. This year, no matter how you holiday, Festival has you covered. Festival Foods, a Wisconsin tradition since 1946.
Beat high fuel costs this winter with a Harmon pellet stove or insert package from Warming Trends. Order now and qualify for a 26% federal tax credit and receive a $200 Visa gift card. Stop into Warming Trends today.
We're at tonight's big boys finale, plus ET's with the all-star cast of the live-action Beauty and the Beast. Next, ET.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
This is my favorite story of the day. The residents of Northland Nursing Home got a very special visit today. Santa brought one of his young reindeer to meet everyone at that care facility in Westby. Everyone got to pet and hang out with the reindeer, and they had their picture taken by a professional photographer. Recreational therapists at the home say events like these can create priceless memories for the residents and their families.
Since the residents are here, they're not able to get outside a lot and into the community as much. So being able to bring them here into the facility just means the world to them. I know that, especially with COVID, it's been hard. So doing this extra special Christmas event will be really special to them.
You better smile. All right.
And today's visit, according to the nursing home, was made possible by a generous, anonymous donor. And of course, the family was invited to come and visit their residents and have fun with Santa and his reindeer. Very neat. We will have a preview of what's coming up at 6 after this, and Eric joins us one more time with a look at the weather headed our way.
You've always been able to buy very basic amplifiers. Insurance will not probably be covering anything that you find online. Many of the Medicare Advantage plans have been adding hearing aid coverage to their offerings.
Yeah, we take all insurances. United Healthcare, Epic, Humana, True Hearing, Blue Cross Blue Shield, federal employees, WPS. I mean, we take all of them.
Better Hearing Center, 11th and Main on Alaska.
If you already know that a blend of tender, marbled Wagyu beef makes the best burger, good for you. Arby's Wagyu Steakhouse Burger is back. You beef genius? Arby's, we have the meat.
The holidays are just around the corner, but Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Christmas sale is going on now with a variety of great gifts at unbeatable prices. Like over 40% off this Hamilton Beach slow cooker. Special buy jumbo dog beds only $29.99. Save $150 on this Milwaukee 5-tool combo kit. Special buy Sherpa Line throws just $12.99. And get great stocking stuffers like assorted Christmas gift sets and holiday cookies, 20% off.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Never have I ever put literally every single item in our store on sale, even the items that never go on sale. Every item?
Join us now through December 24th for our never on sale sale. Only at Rogers and Hollins.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Right now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, you can save up to $400 on stressless recliners when you donate just $50 to charity. You'll save $400 on the popular Mayfair style recliner, $200 off other stressless recliners or office chairs, and up to $600 on stressless sofas. All this when you make a $50 donation to charity. Don't wait. It's time for stressless. Donate and save at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
Coming up on News 8 Now at 6, we are learning more about the woman found dead this fall at La Crosse's Cameron Park. Her name was Eve, and her family believes Eve's death was preventable. It is a story you will only see on News 8 Now tonight at 6.
One final look at the next 8 days. Alert day continues for tomorrow. We go into the teens and 20s for Saturday, and that trend continues all next week. So bottom line, if you have to travel, please allow yourself extra caution.
Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to check in often with us online and on air for the latest weather updates. We'll see you at 6.